A quaint country village basks in the daylight, villagers moving with a slow, steady rhythm. Life unfolds with gentle normalcy. The townsfolk seemingly untouched by the orphanage's quiet sorrow. An ordinary day dawns, casting a melancholic shadow over the edge of town. The village street buzzes with activity, a stark contrast to the orphanage's still silence. A sense of quiet isolation clings to the orphanage, set apart from the village's lively pulse. Sunlight paints the sparse orphanage room as young Pollyanna sits alone, her bright eyes sparkling with curiosity. Dust motes dance in the golden beams, a silent ballet in her sanctuary. Lost in thought, her gaze drifts, a faint smile hinting at an inner world of dreams. This orphanage, a haven, has been her world since tragedy struck, stealing away her parents. Her small frame sits upon the worn wooden chair, a picture of resilience and quiet contemplation. A sleek car arrives before a majestic mansion, its grandeur a stark contrast to Pollyanna's humble past. Pollyanna's eyes widen, her face lifted in awe at the sight of Aunt Polly's imposing estate. The mansion looms, far grander than anything Pollyanna could have ever imagined. A palpable sense of anticipation hangs in the air as Pollyanna prepares to meet her Aunt Polly. Sunlight floods the grand entrance hall as Pollyanna clutches her satchel, a nervous figure amidst the dancing dust motes. Ginger, a kind-faced maid, approaches Pollyanna, her warm smile cutting through the formality of the mansion. Pollyanna's voice trembles slightly as she looks at Ginger expectantly. "Are you my Aunt Polly?" Pollyanna asks, her hopeful gaze searching Ginger's face. Aunt Polly's office is austere, reflecting her severe demeanor. Aunt Polly stands rigid, a fortress of unyielding sternness. Pollyanna enters, her eyes wide with hopeful anticipation. Pollyanna's voice rings with naive gratitude. "Are you my Aunt Polly? Thank you for taking me in." A stark contrast. Pollyanna's warmth clashes with Aunt Polly's coldness. Ginger guides Pollyanna into the attic. Dust motes dance in sunlight. Pollyanna pauses, taking in the vast, dusty space with wide eyes. Sunlight streams through the window, illuminating the forgotten room. Pollyanna's voice rings with joy. "It's beautiful. Look at all of the space and the window." Her eyes sparkle with excitement, taking in every corner of the attic. The attic transforms into a canvas of endless possibilities. In the quiet of the attic room, bathed in soft moonlight, Pollyanna sits alone on her bed, isolated and forlorn. The lock on the door serves as a stark reminder of her harsh punishment, her small frame silhouetted against the pale light. Tears begin to form, shimmering like liquid pearls as they well up in her eyes, reflecting the moon's gentle glow. A solitary tear escapes, tracing a path down her cheek, a silent testament to her sorrow and loneliness. Her voice trembles as she whispers into the night, a heart-rending call to her absent parents. "Oh, Mommy. Oh, Daddy." Clutching her blanket, she continues, her voice choked with emotion. "I miss you." The words hanging heavy in the still air. From the attic window, Pollyanna beholds the courtyard bathed in the moon's silvery light. Stars twinkle like scattered jewels, illuminating the night. The full moon casts long, soft shadows, enhancing the beauty of the flowers below. A sense of wonder fills Pollyanna as she takes in the magical scene. Her eyes widen at the sight, captivated by the natural splendor. "Wow, it's incredible. Like a painting," Pollyanna whispers, utterly spellbound. In the dim attic, Pollyanna's eyes spark with sudden inspiration. A hopeful plan begins to form, lighting up her expressive face. An idea blooms into a radiant smile, full of innocent mischief. Her voice is filled with optimism, ready to share the joy. "I'll teach her the glad game," Pollyanna declares, her voice ringing with excitement. The attic room seems brighter, filled with the promise of happiness. On the bustling village street, Pollyanna and Ginger wander, a beacon of youthful energy against the mundane backdrop. Pollyanna's unrestrained joy bursts forth as she waves at every passerby, her spirit infectious and bright. Amidst the cheerful chaos, her eyes fix on Richard, set apart by a scowl that carves deep lines into his face. His solitary figure stands in stark contrast to Pollyanna's radiant joy, hinting at a story of his own. On a vibrant village street, Pollyanna approaches Richard, her eyes sparkling with youthful enthusiasm. "I'm Pollyanna. What's your name? Isn't today a beautiful day for shopping?" she asks, her voice full of joy. Richard, seemingly unmoved by her cheerful greeting, simply grunts in response. Pollyanna's unwavering optimism meets Richard's gruff demeanor on the lively street. On the village street, Ginger whirls around, her face etched with sudden panic as she realizes Pollyanna is nowhere in sight. "Pollyanna, let's leave this man alone," Ginger calls out, her voice laced with urgency and a hint of fear. Her eyes dart frantically, scanning the bustling street as dread creeps into her expression. Turning back, Ginger offers a hasty apology. "I apologize to you, Richard," her mind still racing with worry. Outside a toy shop bursting with color, Pollyanna halts, her eyes sparkling with childlike wonder. Sam shuffles forward, a worn baseball clutched tightly in his small hand. He hesitates, a flicker of shyness in his eyes. With a tentative gesture, Sam offers his treasured ball to Pollyanna. "Do you want to play with my ball?" Pollyanna's face lights up, her joy infectious. "Oh yes, thank you." The bright toys in the shop window reflect in their excited eyes. The two children stand together, ready to play, the worn baseball a symbol of budding friendship. Pollyanna and Ginger walk along the village street on a bright day, heading towards home. Pollyanna spots a small, lonely kitten huddled by a fence, its eyes wide and pleading. Gently, Pollyanna kneels and scoops the kitten into her arms, offering warmth and comfort. "This little kitty needs a home, I can tell," Pollyanna says softly, her heart melting for the tiny creature. Pollyanna, radiant with joy, enters Aunt Polly's grand foyer, a small kitten nestled gently in her arms. Sunlight floods the foyer, illuminating dust motes as Pollyanna presents her new companion. "Her name is Daisy," Pollyanna declares, her voice full of affection as she looks at Aunt Polly. Aunt Polly's face hardens, her displeasure cutting through the warm atmosphere. Her eyes narrow at the sight of the kitten. "We do not bring strays into this house." "Disgusting," Aunt Polly exclaims, her voice sharp and cold. Sunlight floods the attic, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air as Pollyanna enters the room. Daisy lies nestled in soft rags, a haven of comfort amidst the attic's forgotten treasures. Pollyanna gently strokes Daisy, her touch light and full of affection. Pollyanna's eyes reflect pure contentment as she watches over the kitten, a silent promise of care. In the quiet of the attic, a bond forms between a girl and her kitten, bathed in soft golden light. On the sun-drenched, dusty village street, Pollyanna stands, her face alight with joy as she faces Sam. Beaming, Pollyanna begins to teach Sam the secrets of the glad game, her enthusiasm infectious. "What is something you're feeling sad about?" Pollyanna asks, her eyes sparkling with genuine curiosity. Sam struggles, his brow furrowed in thought, searching for a shadow in his otherwise bright day. On the lively village street, sunlight bathes Pollyanna's face as she gestures with infectious enthusiasm. Sam listens intently, his brow furrowed as he grapples with Pollyanna's unusual perspective. Pollyanna urges, "Take a moment and imagine something way worse, like not having any food at all." Sam absorbs her words, the bustling street fading into background as Pollyanna's idea takes hold. Sunlight floods Aunt Polly's grand hall as Pollyanna, beaming, brings Sam into the opulent space. Aunt Polly stands rigid by the fireplace, her face an impassive mask as she surveys the pair. Pollyanna's bright introduction fills the silent hall. "Aunt Polly," This is Sam. Sam offers a polite greeting. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Polly. Aunt Polly retorts. What did I tell you about bringing home strays? Sam explodes from the house, tears blurring his vision. Pollyanna, a whirlwind of worry, races after him, her voice lost in the chaos. Blinded by anguish, Sam darts into the street, oblivious to the lurking danger. Pollyanna, heart pounding, risks everything to reach him. The air crackles with suspense as fate hangs precariously in the balance. Pollyanna lies still, almost lost in the white hospital bed, sunlight barely piercing the sterile room. Aunt Polly sits, hunched, worry etched deep, as a gentle nurse speaks with grave concern. Nurse's words hang heavy in the air. We don't know if Pollyanna will ever be able to walk again, my sweet. Aunt Polly's face reflects a storm of despair, a silent vigil in the face of the unknown. Sunlight floods the sterile room as Pollyanna stands amidst nurses and doctors, her face radiating pure joy. Pollyanna gestures, captivating her audience with infectious enthusiasm, turning the sterile air into one of mirth. Smiles spread among the medical staff, their laughter echoing in the room, a stark contrast to the usual quiet. Aunt Polly watches from the doorway, her expression a mix of confusion and disbelief at the scene unfolding before her. In the quiet hospital room, Richard sits beside Pollyanna's bed, a solemn atmosphere filling the air. Aunt Polly and Ginger stand in silent vigil, the gentle light casting long shadows across their faces. Richard breaks the heavy silence, his voice thick with emotion and remembrance. I used to know your mother. I was in love with her, Richard confesses, his words hanging in the air. In the quiet hospital room, Pollyanna's serene smile radiates, a beacon of hope amidst sterile walls. Aunt Polly and Ginger stand near, tears welling as they witness Pollyanna's resilience. Pollyanna's voice, soft yet clear. I wanted to tell you both about Richard's proposal. Aunt Polly, voice thick with emotion. Oh, Pollyanna, we're so happy you've chosen to stay with us. Ginger, sniffling, echoes the sentiment. We truly are. A testament to their unbreakable bond. Radiant. Pollyanna stands in Aunt Polly's lush garden, her resilient spirit shining. Aunt Polly smiles gently, standing beside Pollyanna, warmth softening her features. Ginger watches with affection, his eyes reflecting the joy Pollyanna has brought. Richard and Sam approach, their faces alight, mirroring the garden's vibrant transformation.